Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Just going through some of the documents, a list of members and those who will be going on to decide what eventually happens today on the floor of the National Assembly. Well, to shed some light on that matter, we're joined now by Honorable Moshood Salvador. He was a former member of the House of Reps himself. He's a member of the PDP. Thank you for coming on this morning.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Well, this matter raising a lot of concerns, many quarters surprised, and many just wondering, what now? Not yet, not again. Why now? So different adjectives to describe what happens, but I know to you, this is politics. How do you see this playing out eventually?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a normal thing, and that is even what I expect. But the only thing we need to tell our leaders is to make sure we put the interest of the nation first. There's no other way you can put the interest of the nation first rather than respecting the interest of individuals too. They are all members of National Assembly elect. They are getting sworn in a few hours' time to become legislators. If you can remember what Mr. President said during his speech, he vehemently told us that he would allow the autonomy of National Assembly. It will give all respect to National Assembly. I think we should, all leaders should toe that line, should allow them to be. But no matter what, leaders must be able, they need to be guided. I remember when I was in the House of Reps, I didn't even know the power that belongs to the Speaker. We were just doing it like fun. We were green. We just, before we first of all elected Salisu Buhari, without even knowing his quality. He has no program for us. He had nothing to, that wasn't our interest because we all got elected. Whatever our leader says we should do, that was what we did. And at the end of the day, you could see the results. After Salisu Buhari, you know, the next, the speaker that we elected him by ourselves.
So you learned your lessons from the first mistake.
That's right.
That the party is not always right.
The party is not always right. In fact, some of our people were offended by the way our leader talked to them.
But you know, remember, party is not always right. How come? Because I think Elijah Lai Mohammed spoke about something like that in a similar fashion. Party presents candidates, so all of a sudden candidates now say, no, party is not always right.
We are all politicians. It is what you want. You define a suitable meaning for it in politics. But now I'm a neutral person. I'm not interested in any side. Or my own is the success of the country. That is my own interest. Party will always want it the way they do because they will sit down. They know what you committed to the success, your contribution to the success, of which the followers might not know.
That's what I was just going to ask you. What informs, or how is it that the party, you know, determines, if they are the ones determining? The APC might argue in this instance that they did not determine. After all, a straw poll was conducted. But then how does a party determine when they finally present a candidate for other members to say, this is your candidate, go and vote him in?
It can only be done when it comes to the issue of National Assembly by dialogue. You even appeal to members. Don't think because you are the leaders of the party, you can impose your opinion on them. If you impose it in a way that will not be accepted by members, you will get yourself disappointed. Take simple observation. Even elected members of APC that are majority in the House of Reps, that are majority in the Senate, what happened when they were doing their shadow election within their party? What happened? We have how many members of APC that were supposed to be members of House of Reps? How many voted? How many attended? How many voted for Dogara? How many voted for Gbajabiamila? where are the remaining numbers?
Just give me a moment. Let me just get to our correspondent, Larry Lasisi. He's in Abuja.
Okay.
Morning, Larry, and thank you for joining us. What's the latest now, first and foremost, about allowing journalists into the National Assembly to cover proceedings today?
Morning, Chamberlain. Well, the latest is that we're still on that issue. Everybody, the staff, journalists are not being allowed to go into the complex, despite the fact that we had special tags made for this event for today, and almost everybody that is being locked out right now has that accreditation card. We understand that this morning police officers from outside the National Assembly, I mean those, there is the normal policemen that are attached to the National Assembly, but this morning other policemen came in this morning and shut the National Assembly down. We're still trying to get more details, but we're told even the sergeants at arms who are the security personnel of the National Assembly and rightly should be in charge of security in the complex, were not even aware of this development. So right now, I can just say that there is a cloud of confusion in the complex right now. The gate is jammed, cars, people are there, and I think they're still trying to sort themselves out inside before we can go in, as regards who and how and what is going on.
Any further reasons that they've given not allowing even members of staff of the National Assembly to gain access to the venue?
Well, we haven't been able to get across to the officials, the police themselves, to try and get to talk to them. But everybody, the people we do know, that the Sergeant at Arms Department, the people that normally are in the National Assembly, say they're not aware of this development. I've also spoken to other security agencies that are attached to the National Assembly. They also are not aware of the development. So right now, no further information as regards why this is taking place this morning.
Does that also mean that we can't exactly tell, or can you tell, whose instruction are they acting on?
Well, it's not possible to tell at this point in time. I think it's just it reminds one of the last time when this sort of thing happened. That was the episode where lawmakers had to scale the fence, where some security officials came from outside the National Assembly again and locked down the National Assembly. But this time we're not able to verify where this order is coming from.
Well, we've been told that there'll be a meeting between the president and then members of his party, members-elect, to see how they could sort this challenge out. Are you privy to any of those meetings, several meetings that they've had, perhaps what they eventually decided?
I do know of the meeting that I have seen the notice for the meeting the president is to have with all the lawmakers of the APC in the House of Reps, in the House of Representatives and the Senate. That meeting is to hold at 9 o'clock, I'm told, and I think it's just a last effort by the party calling on the strongest the strongest leader, the leader of the party, to make a strong appeal to the lawmakers to see if it's possible to still resolve the issues on ground and avert what could happen on the floor in the National Assembly. That meeting is to hold at 9 o'clock, very close to the 10 o'clock that we expect the proceedings of the House to commence. I think it throws a whole new, it will throw the new light on what will happen on the floor when the House resumes.
Larry, thank you so much for bringing up reminding us that we had almost seen something like this before in the last assembly. Pretty quickly on this, What is the news about the PDP endorsing the candidates, maybe Bukola Saraki and Mr. Dogara?
Well, that is also a notice we had. It was not a briefing. It came as just as a press release, signed by Olisa Metu, the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, and we're still trying to get to talk to him so that he can verify that this actually is the position of the party. But I think it stands to reason that if you look at the way the developments have played out from the weekend till today, both Dogara's camp and Bukola Saraki's camp have obviously some sort of support, or they are counting a lot on the numbers in the PDP. So they obviously are depending on that numbers for their election bid. And so I think it stands to reason one will expect that it's the PDP that will be their own joker when it comes to elections on the floor. But I would still like to verify from Olisa Metu to be sure that notice came from him, and that's the position of the party.
And if it turns out to be true, it boils down to the numbers, as you did say. And what does that mean in an assembly that you've been covering for some time now?
Well, for me, it makes it clearer, but also not so clear. By that I mean, we do know that right now the PDP, this call by the PDP is coming really late in the day. And I assume most members would have taken their positions individually. I'm talking of PDP members now. They would have taken their positions individually to a large extent. Now, a large number of them may go with this decision, but I do not see all the PDP members agreeing with the party and towing party lines at this moment.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Larry, our correspondent, Larry Lasisi. Do let us know. Of course, we'll always check with you if anything changes, if you're able to access the venue before we wrap up with the program here today.